Okay, so we're going to lead off with this first story that Canelia is all over this morning. Shea Moisture, would you go ahead and explain and break down, Canelia, what Shea Moisture is and why they're getting all this heat this morning?
Right, yeah. Shea Moisture is a hair and skincare product line that was created and geared towards black women. And recently they let out a series of ads in regards to things that you hate about your hair and the struggles that different women have in regards to, you know, just everyday woes. Like maybe it's overcolored or it's dry, brittle, just different things. But the ad got a lot of backlash on social media from a lot of women of color because of the contents and the things that they've seen in the ad. So one ad in particular, it intros with a white woman with short hair, blonde hair, kind of spiky, edgy haircut, and then it goes into, you can see the video right here playing. This is one of the ads, and there are a couple.
Okay.
I don't know what to do with it.
So again, each woman has their own different story, their own struggles, but the backlash came when some women were saying, hey, this isn't a representation of the line or the product line.
Right.
This is for black women. You have white women in here. White women don't usually use Shea Moisture, and some white women do use Shea Moisture. And there's, like I said, skincare lines too, soaps, body lotions, all kinds of oils,
whatever it may be. Yeah.
Whatever it may be. So, and then the other side was, you know, saying, hey, why is this such a big deal? Who cares? A lot of people who aren't of color are saying they're going to boycott because this seems to be racist towards non-white people if you're boycotting for that reason. So it's just a big talker. What do you guys think about it? Because again, we've been all over this, and it started pretty much yesterday. That's when the wave really hit.
Well, you bring up a good point, and you talked about it on Morning Blend. Again, if you missed it, you talked about how it's not so much that shea butter is wanting to be inclusive of all races. That's not where the holdup is from, say, the black community. It's more of, why are you using the topic in this series of commercials and ads? Why are you using the topic of hair struggles? All women go through them. When we know, I'm Latina, you're white, you're black, we all have different hair struggles, but talk about the struggles that you have faced as a woman of color in the workforce.
Well, I think when you say like hair hate and hair struggles, again, like Megan said, it's different. I've worked at companies where black women couldn't wear their natural hair because it was considered unprofessional. And
something that I've never
and this is the way that my hair grows out of my scalp. So that right there is an issue, and it's very divisive. And you have the issue where with appropriating hairstyles, if I wear dreadlocks, then it might be considered a certain way or looked down upon, where if someone who isn't black wears them, it's edgy or chic or new.
On trend.
And then like example, so there's a lot, like example, people with my hair or other black women with natural hair, some people who aren't black or of color will just touch your hair, put their fingers in your hair, or try to say, "Can I touch your hair like you're in a zoo?" So when it comes to hair and the black community, it's a very touchy subject. So to loop everyone in under the same demo, under the same ad, to say, "Hey, my hair, I have hair struggles," that's not really on par.
Sensitive topic.
It's very sensitive.
And some things that we were tracking the comments this morning on Morning Blend, and I saw everything from white people saying that they were offended and they're no longer going to use the product because they didn't know that they were supposed to be ostracized from being able to use Shea Moisture. They thought it doesn't say it's specifically only for one type of hair. If I want to use it, why can't I use it? So we saw that argument. We also saw the argument of women saying you just don't get it, onto Canelia's point, where this product was initially developed and created for women in the African American community. And so when Shea Moisture went out and started branding that it was for everyone, in that way, now we're seeing a lot of women of color say we want to boycott the product because this was the one thing we had, and now you're saying that you're trying to be diversity enough.
And like we get it, it's a business, and they're trying to be inclusive, and we live in a world in 2017 where it's no hate, all love, all cultures come together. I just want to be clear, that's not your
and I don't think that's the overall. I don't think that's the overall problem, because again, some women of color use Pantene. use Revlon. But the idea of erasure of hair struggles when it comes to different nationalities and different backgrounds, I think that needs to be acknowledged, and that's what Shea Moisture built their company on.
Right.
Because they were specifically one of the only brands to focus on natural hair care for Black women or women of color, mixed race women. So to now say, or to now have this ad that kind of forgets about that, I think that's the problem. Because again, I don't see many of my friends or anybody that I know on my social media feed saying, we want this product for us. I don't think it's about that. I think it's about acknowledging the hair struggles. Because again, even with the United States military, up until recently, Black women couldn't wear natural hairstyles in the military. Wow. So this is not just Black women or people of color getting mad about something. This has been an issue since the beginning of time.
Yeah, and
since we've been in America,
which is focuses originally, from my understanding, on the Black community and the hair that comes from the Black community, for them to be so tone deaf. Is that a proper term to use?
Yeah, you could say tone deaf. And again, they could have done the same commercial in a different way.
Yeah.
They could have just, all it is a marketing. Again, marketing is one of the most important aspects of any business.
Yeah.
What you put out to the people, to the consumer, dictates if they're going to buy your product. And if you put it out the right way, or a way that's inclusive of everybody, then you're just going to have to deal with what happens. And we see right now it just didn't connect with the audience that they started with.
And I think more of the backlash came when they actually put out a statement and said that they would be taking down all of those videos. So now Shea Moisture has come forward to say, you know what, we were wrong, we messed up, we want to retract everything we've done, and now they're taking it away, which is in turn upsetting another group of people, saying, so not only did you put this out there initially and then upset some, but now you're reversing your decision, which makes the white women who they were promoting in their ads feel like, okay, now you don't want us to use it. So now I think it's just, they put themselves in a position. Who is in charge of your PR and marketing?
They had one job, one job to connect with the.
You put yourself in a position to be called out, and then it's kind of like the United thing. If you don't handle it the right way off the top and in the beginning, it's bad publicity.
Yeah, and we're getting some good comments in here. Check them out, Dina. Again, we're getting Amy Lynn. Hello, white girl here. I use Shea Moisture on my naturally curly hair. Can't we all just get along? Absolutely. And again, I don't think that's the issue with the ad. I think the issue is, again, recognizing people just want their struggles to be recognized. People don't want to be pacified, or they don't want an erasure of like, oh, we have the same hair struggles. Actually, we don't. And I think that needs to be talked about, and it needs to be discussed, because again, the issues that I would deal with isn't just, I'm waking up and my hair is frizzy. It could affect my employment. It could be,
and
it could affect my life.
That is something that I have never had to consider ever with what I do and with who I associate myself with. And I know there are some of you who say, like Tom Brown says, hair and hair products are a dumb thing to argue about. And on the surface, on a headline, sure. But as Cornelia mentioned, it's a deeper issue than just the hair product and just the way that this company has branded themselves. I mean, you go into the socioeconomic side of this, and it's a big issue that women and men of color have dealt with for a long time. And I was never aware of it, to be honest. I just
my biggest hair struggle has been, the tangles when I wake up in the morning because of the way I sleep. And to sit here and say that, I was represented in that commercial, therefore I can use it. No, like Cornelia is saying, your life has been affected by this, by employment, like you said, military, the ways in which the hair that grows out of your head is unacceptable in a lot of ways in which this country operates. Still to this day.
Again, it's a business. Again, if you talk about advertising and spending, Black women spend a lot of money on cosmetics, hair care products. So if you're talking about the financial thing, as a business, Shea Moisture will probably look at this going forward and maybe adjust a little bit, because you don't want this to affect your bottom line. No. Because again, you got to make money. And again, it's about making money.
And I am going to read this comment because I think, Marianne, you make a point. And I think some people might agree with you here. And Cornelia, I'll get your response. She says, I am so tired of everything being racial. Why did it go to this point in the conversation? Why did it become, there was a white woman in the commercial, and now all of a sudden we're here? What is it right now with our society that we went this far?
Like I think when you have an industry that has, the reason why this is about race every product that has been on the shelf since whenever is mainly marketed and geared towards women who are not of color. So when you finally have products that are for you, you embrace that. So to say or to ask why something has to be about race, a lot of things are built off of that simple fact without even recognizing it. Because if it wasn't, then every line would have, Pantene would have had a line back in the day for women of color. If not, then Garnier would have had that. So as a woman of color, this entire time we're staring at these products and saying, dang, nobody's making anything for me. So you can't help but to tie it to that, because one group has been boxed out of hair care for so long. We've had Dark and Lovely. There's been Cream of Nature products for Black women. But again, the mainstream products
boxed you out.
Have, we felt boxed out. So I don't really see it as making it a racial thing. I just seeing it as, to me, it's just facts.
Yeah.